Welcome to Superman and Lois Retrospectives, episode 13, I guess. So
Yeah,
far, yeah,
13.
this will be
Look,
episode
look
13.
up there. Look up
This
there.
would
You can
be
see the title.
episode 13. We're covering episodes 13 and 14. That's how I know we're on episode 13. I hope everyone is having a wonderful, splendiferous day today. I know I am. My cat's in here and he's upset. Darren is eating hot Takis, I believe. I didn't know he was old enough to eat hot Takis. And Jake is drinking some liquor.
This is water.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, sometimes they're the same color though, so fair mistake.
Yeah. But how is everybody doing today? Like
Mhm.
me personally, I feel good. I listened to some good AI music today and
You watched a very controversial podcast done by an actor today.
yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
On brand with Superman, I guess.
yeah.
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 Yeah, and it's funny how like the main villain of this season has almost got a
Mhm.
cult-like following.
Shout out to the time where some people thought Superman and Lois was a sequel to Smallville. Those people
Forgot
pissed
about
me
that.
off. They're like, no, it actually is canon to Smallville because it's when he's older. I was like, that makes no sense.
That would
Shut the
make
fuck
no
up.
that would make no sense. They would just bring back the same actors.
They all
He
died.
wouldn't get shorter. Like
You never saw them after Crisis, though, so for all you know, they stayed dead.
technically we do know because Mark Guggenheim said they had to
Oh,
put
yeah.
everybody back. Like that made Crisis
Not
like
everybody.
anticlimactic. He said if we asked to borrow those things, we had to put them all back. It's
Yeah.
like, the only one that you didn't put back, well, I guess you did put him back normal was Brandon Ralph because he
Brandon
got the
Routh.
yellow and red
Yeah.
crest. So I guess you put him back normal, but it's still the Kingdom Come crest. So technically not normal at the same
Yeah.
time. But
And I mean, was like
Yeah.
was there not a Green Lantern world in there before? Because there only was after.
true,
So-
and we never got to see what was there. So
Nope. I mean, it was just a little bit we saw was just the movie, wasn't it?
Yeah.
yep.
We could have
Yeah.
left that one.
But the
Hey,
episode
hey, hey,
today,
hey, you know what? That was the only Green Lantern tease we actually got in Crisis.
Yeah.
Yep.
It takes place on the same Earth that Ryan Reynolds does that Grant Gustin phone commercial with.
Oh no, I love the not. I guess you could say bromance that those two have, not at the same level as somebody like Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, but you see that they still take friendly shots at each other.
That like that little clip almost made me wish the Green Lantern movie was canon because I was like, damn it, they have chemistry. Like I kind of wish he was our
Yeah.
Green Lantern. Like it kind of would work with like Tyler Hoechlin, Grant Gustin. Like it's like I could see him just kind of like hanging out with that group of characters.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Yeah.
But no, this I guess two episodes. We'll go over 13 first, then go into 14 because
Yeah.
they wouldn't really make sense to go the other way.
so 13 entitled "Fail Safe." I have no issues with this episode. Is great. Especially picking up off of 12, where that is essentially that was supposed to be the season finale.
Yeah.
Seeing Morgan Edge locked up,
Yeah.
sulking, seeing him have those flashbacks because at this time the Eradicator personality is trying to take over fully. Seeing how his father treated him, seeing how he initially did not want to do what his dad wanted, he just wanted
Mhm.
his father's love, but it came off like verbally abusive.
Oh, he
Yep.
was very abusive.
Like
He was a
Zeta Rose.
terrible
Zeta Rose was
guy.
a horrible person. So
And-
like yeah, it was
Yeah, that really culminated into the bit where he tried to say goodbye to his dad, but he cut the hologram before
Yeah.
he could.
Yeah.
So he never got to say goodbye. I was like, damn.
yeah.
We're at a point
Yeah.
in the season where he is now kind of the main villain. Like Morgan Edge really is defeated in what episode 12, and
Yep.
then 13, 14, and 15 is definitely kind of a slight transition to like his father being the real antagonist of the season, which you can argue he's kind of the real antagonist for the whole season. Where like Morgan Edge is definitely the force. It's like yes, but like.
Yeah.
how much of that was actually on him. Like, it's on him, obviously, but like it was all kind of caused by his actions and his wants and his needs. And if he wasn't in the picture, I think like, there's even that scene in episode what is it? I think it's episode 14 where he's like, "No, dad, like I can be with my brother. I can go."
Yeah, yeah. You can
Oh,
see that he wanted both.
and like what's that what if story like where he just like didn't listen to his father, or he just didn't like he didn't find his father. He's just like, "Oh, I got a nice little brother and we're all like being heroes
Yeah,
together."
it'd have been interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's such a
and
nice parallel to like what we ultimately get with like Jordan and Jonathan, right?
yeah,
Like superhero team together. Like we could
yeah,
have had a whole generation sooner. Like that would have been
yeah.
really cool to see.
Well,
Uh,
well, I mean, you kind of brought up a point for a good segue there. Because speaking of superhero teams, this is the first of unfortunately not many episodes. Even though I do love this whenever we get it, where you get to see Superman and Steel teaming up.
it's so
Yep.
And,
cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it doesn't happen a lot when you look at the amount of episodes that are in the show. But
Hmm.
man, just that little bit where they're going after Lar, and I love the bit at the end after they've taken her down. Just that little fist bump, and you can
Like,
hear like the mechanics in the gauntlet.
Isn't that
Love those
14?
bits. Is that 14?
Yes.
No,
yeah,
I don't think it is.
That's
No, because
14.
no, because she gets captured in 13, and then she gets broken out in 14. I promise. Because I was just rewatching them today.
You
I
may
don't
be right.
remember.
I don't
It,
I
remember.
watched them back to back. I don't know.
Yeah. They
it's
blend
like
they blend together so well.
But yeah, I mean, they do. I'm actually really glad we did end up pairing these two together because they do
Yeah.
work, I think, very well together. And like I will say, I, I like these episodes a lot. I'm really glad that they exist, but you can definitely tell that this is like wasn't necessarily supposed to be a part of the main story. Like you can definitely tell they're like, oh, okay, we want to do a couple more of these. What do we do here? Um, and like I think it's a really good way to and like episodes of TV like this don't exist anymore. But like these episodes are definitely like let's just expand our story. These episodes didn't technically need to be there. They could have done this in the original 13 episode arc, and I think a
Yep.
lot of the story still would have been here. But this is our chance to be like, how do we expand the story and make it a more rich experience for
without
the
it feeling
audience?
filler.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like episode 13 especially is a character of characters just kind of like talking about their feelings and what's going on and expanding upon the issues within the town and the like mental health of our characters, and that's cool.
Yeah,
Streaming shows don't have that opportunity, which to
no,
me is why there will never be a universe like the Arrowverse or like this era of like superhero television again, superhero
no,
storytelling again, because they will never have the opportunity to just live, to just have
yeah.
characters live their life and live their world. And how high can I go? Live,
No, and
live.
I mean, if I've said this before, I've said it a dozen times. But what I love about this show is that like it's there's so little filler in these episodes. Like nothing happens that doesn't contribute to the plot, the character arcs, the world building, that awful haircut, and Darren's photo. But there's so many great things that happen just out of the moments. Like you get just as much out of seeing these moments of Superman and Steel team up, and then
Yeah,
you get just as much out of those moments as you do of like seeing like Clark and Lois having a conversation over the table at breakfast, or like you know the Cushings hanging out in their house. Of course, there's drama that happens. Not every episode is happy, hunky dory, perfect dynamics, especially not
yeah,
for that family. But it mixes the two so well, and especially in I noticed watching these two episodes, it goes back and forth between the family matters and the superheroics. Yes, I made that joke on
It's
purpose.
a fair
Uh,
condition in this day and age. Reading the good news on the newspaper page. Um,
but no,
yeah.
it goes back and forth between those two stories so seamlessly,
yeah, it
and
does.
I love it because like just for one example, and I think this is in the next episode, but whenever whenever Lois is mad at Clark about that 7734 formula,
Yup.
and she's like, "Listen, I know we have to talk about this, and I'm not mad at you, but
Mhm.
right now I have to stay mad so I can go scare our son."
That scene is arguably maybe my favorite scene of the whole show, and one of my favorite scenes of just like
Yep.
television in general, because I feel like I reference that so many times when I'm watching other shows, sometimes even better shows, but that to me is one of the best displays of a healthy relationship on TV I
Yeah.
have simply ever seen. That is so realistic and so real to just be like, listen, this sucks. I am so fucking mad at you, but I shouldn't be mad at you, but I am mad at you, but I have to deal with this, so I have to keep those emotions in check. But like I really like that that she vocally says like, I need time. I need time to cool off. That is so important. It is so important to be able to endow. And this just goes for like real life. It's okay to just be like, I don't know how I feel. Right now, I am in the heat of a moment and I don't know what's my real emotion and what's my now emotion. Let me go deal with this and then let's come back afterwards and have that. Like that's so good. That's such a good thing to display. I think that's such an awesome
Yeah.
thing that I have seen no other show ever even come
No.
close to that level of emotional maturity. Again, especially in contrast to like the other CW shows
The drama
where
felt so forced.
you would have like,
Yep.
you know, Diggle being like, I didn't tell you because of A, B, and C. But it's like, why did that take 15 episodes?
And right,
We did not
they
need it.
drag it out for so
Yeah.
long. I really got annoyed at that, but you know
Yeah.
they really have such a display of a healthy marriage, honestly, because like yeah, they have misgivings about things, but they don't make the other feel bad about something every episode. They don't have a new piece of drama every couple episodes that lasts every couple of episodes because that's just incredibly toxic. And you know, again, like Darren said, you're muted by the way, Darren. But whenever you look at shows like The Flash or especially Arrow, where the primary relationships are toxic as hell, Clark
Yeah.
and Lois are very refreshing in that regard.
Very, yeah. And it just makes me so happy in contrast because I was scared when they announced the show. I really was because this was the first time they had ever done a CW DC show where the couple had started at the start of the show that had
Or
never
it was in
happened
the
before.
title.
Black Lightning was close, but they were already
Yeah,
like broken up and there was room for that
yeah,
drama. So when they had announced that Lana and Kyle were going to be in the show, I was terrified. I
yeah.
was like, oh no, 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 they're gonna do a love triangle and they're gonna have that be, oh, you know, a back and forth.
Smallville all over again.
But they didn't. They hint it sometimes, but like they leave that to not Kyle, I'm sorry. Well, Kyle too, I guess a little bit, but
Yeah,
Jordan and Sarah, and like they let those
yeah.
two have the love
Because it's
stuff.
their time to do. I don't want to say if it's their time to do that, but they're the kids.
It is.
So
Yeah, no,
yeah,
like the whole point of being teenagers is that your shit's messy. You don't know what's going on and your emotions are in check. Good transition, I guess, because like episode 13 13, yeah, I think it was 13 was when you had the whole grounding situation or the whole like skipping school stuff, right?
I think
No, that was 14. That was
that was
14.
14.
Was that 14? Whatever, I don't care.
Yeah,
Yeah, but like both have their share of like relationship shit of just like,
Yeah.
you
even though
know,
like that one random chick, I don't even remember her name. Did they even say it? The one chick that John skips with?
Ain't it
she
Chrissy?
has
No,
a
it's not.
name.
It's not Chrissy. Is it Tegan?
No.
I know it might be
Isn't Tegan
Tegan.
the is Tegan? Yeah, yes,
Because
Tegan.
there was a whole thing around that character because like she was saying like like they came from Central City and whatnot. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's the main thing I remember about that character.
I
Was that this episode where that happened?
that was
Yeah.
14. Yeah,
Okay.
that
That was
was
14. She finally tells
I
him after he tells her like I know you used me or whatever. It was really
yeah.
Like you
horrible how
just
you went about that. Yeah.
right, like you just wanted information.
I loved that character just based on that line alone. Because when that episode came out, I was so fucking excited. I was like, "They're planning crossovers, baby! They're setting the stage." I remember being like, "Oh, this is going to be like Captain Cold's long lost daughter, and we're bringing in the Flash. It's going to be a huge crossover event." To be fair, I actually do think that's probably what they were trying to do. I really, really do. I think this is probably all going. Like, I thought it was going to connect to like the Justice U stuff. They're planning on doing like maybe a Justice U backdoor something. I thought maybe they
And
would have used
then
the Flash to do it with
nothing
Tag, and
happened.
because they introduced one of the like what's that young girl that like young hero they introduced on the Flash. I thought, okay, that's gonna have
Oh,
something to do with it
Uh,
from the Legion of
uh,
Superheroes. Yeah.
Phantom
oh,
Girl.
Phantom Girl, I was like, okay, they're
Phantom
gonna
Girl.
bring in
Yeah,
Phantom
yeah.
Girl. We're doing all this with the young daughter, blah blah blah. And then season 2, they don't even reference her. Like, he has a new girlfriend. The season 2 premiere. I'm like, what happened, guys? Where
Right,
is she?
right. Yeah,
No.
yeah. But I mean, hey, that girlfriend ended up being a pretty good character, I thought.
I like Candace. Yeah,
Yeah.
Candace is ultimately the better character. I don't like how
And
flip floppy the character is.
she
Yeah,
got to be with both Johns.
yeah. I don't. This character is definitely very like manipulative. I
Oh,
feel
Tegan.
like yeah, she's definitely like, no, people just misunderstand me. It's like, no, you did like laugh at him when you
Yeah,
asked him out the first time. Like, she
yeah,
plays it off like, no, like that's not what you think. It's like,
yeah.
no, you actively like made
Right.
fun of him in front of all
Yeah.
your friends and you brushed that off. You
Yeah.
don't like,
Right.
you could have acknowledged it. Be like,
Yeah.
I know that was fucked up of me. I don't know how. I want to keep this image, and I'm so like I would have preferred a little bit more of that, but she kind of like gaslights him a little bit, and I was
Yeah.
like,
Right. And when she says that, or when he calls her out saying, like, you just wanted information, and she goes, well, I also wanted to hang out. It's like that trying to save
yeah,
face. That just tells you, like, okay, yeah. Like, and John, he made the right move. He walked home, he walked away. And
yeah,
thank
Now,
God he did, because I got scared for a moment. I was like, no. Please do not
yeah,
fall into this trap that so many other people on so many other shows do, because this is not what we need to see.
yeah. No, he's very level headed, and she
Yeah.
kind of got his way. She got her way back into that whatever. And again, it's it is what it is, but it makes sense why they didn't last. It like they are very clearly not meant to be,
Right.
and things go a different direction. But yeah,
As Quentin Lentz says on Arrow, opposites attract, but not that much.
yeah,
Um,
so speaking of relationship stuff, the stuff with Sarah and how she basically like treated her parents, like you told, like they're
whew,
stupid. I mean, they had that coming. They were getting ready to leave.
yeah,
They were
Kyle was
getting ready
being
to
really
leave.
impulsive with that.
Being really impulsive with that and getting ready to leave, and she didn't want that. And the way she stormed into the party, and how Jordan's little friends was like basically giving her a look like, bro, control your girl, and like that.
yeah.
I'm so glad Jordan made the right call in that instance. But then at the same time, he went into the whole whining, we can make this work, like, bro.
Yeah.
I said,
I mean, I get it. It's
you
his
handled
first
it good.
girlfriend. Like, it's his first girlfriend. I get it.
Yeah. I think this is I don't hate it or anything. I don't think it's bad, but I think it's definitely the least I've been into the like teen drama stuff this season with those two. Like that's the stuff. And like maybe it's just because I already know like
Where it
like that
goes.
they don't leave and so it's like okay, like I'm not a huge fan of like also them like blatantly ignoring Sam during all this. Like I think the second you see that on the news, you would be like, "Oh fuck, we gotta get out of here." But they stay for another like
Yeah.
hour or so. Like it's dark the like next time we see them there. It's like, well, guys, what are we doing? We gotta go. Like I know peer pressure is a thing and parties a thing, but like when you see your mom almost get like disintegrated on the
That should be like a
news,
wake up call.
you need to
Yeah.
go. Like who like even Sarah like calls him out like, hey, maybe we should tackle this after we deal with your mom who was getting murdered. Like I again like that's the little
Yeah.
stuff I'm like, okay, I'm starting to see a little bit. I don't hate it. I know some people like I hate it in season 1. I'm like, I don't.
Bless you. I mean, they're kids
Oh,
though.
I was
So
trying to wonder, like,
like
what happened
like
to what's in
Sorry.
audio? Like,
no, like I get it though. They're kids. They don't always make the best decisions.
True. No. Again, I don't think it's bad. I'm not like, oh fuck this show. And it does get there sometimes where I'm like, all right,
A
this is gonna go too
a
much
little
for me.
bit.
But like, yeah, no, it works. It's fine. It is the least I'm into it this specific season, though. I'll say.
Yeah.
Um.
There's another pair, not a relationship pair, but an interesting dynamic that you really see kind of forming in this episode, and that's between John and John.
John. Yeah.
Yeah. And I love that kind of dynamic that they're building there because, of course,
Yeah.
with John's current lack of power, shall we say, he
Hmm.
wants to try to find another way to help his family, another thing that he can add and contribute. And, he kind of sees John Henry Irons as a way for him to learn that. And John Henry Irons is so against teaching him anything. He's like, hey, listen, why don't you go just be a normal kid? I don't have
Yeah.
anything to teach you. You can't learn anything from me.
Yeah.
And on one hand, I love that because of everything John's done and that he's been through. He doesn't want somebody else to become like him. And like he
Yeah.
doesn't want that on a kid of all people because he
And
already saw what that life did to Natalie. He didn't want to do it to John.
the last person that helped him with the suits, he assumes is not longer with them. And like, yeah, like I do like that he's, I think, now properly dealing with his grief. He's not really grief because we know ultimately, but like at this time it is grief. He thinks he's lost his daughter, and like he's been so focused on killing Superman and like the mission and the mission and the mission and the mission, and now that it's all calmed down,
And the mission and the mission and the mission and the mission.
now he has to kind of face the music, and now he's facing with that. And like I really like that
What
his
music
character.
is he facing though? Is it rock, disco, gospel?
It's probably a version of that theme that you hear in episode 7 whenever he's working on his
Yeah.
suit.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's good. Like I like that they don't just like, oh, he's a great guy now. Like he is a good guy, but like
No,
Yes.
he still has its issues, and he's
it
not like
builds.
he's not like the nicest guy yet because he doesn't need to be. And like he is a bit of an asshole, and I like that there's a
little bit.
progression there. I like that it's not just like, oh, I'm the bestest, most greatest guy. It's like he's a bit of an asshole still, and that's okay.
Yeah. And I do. Not only do you see the dynamic between those two forming, but beyond just them working together, you see the dynamic between Clark and John forming a lot in this episode too. Whenever they're talking about the whole 7734 deal, and well, there's two sides of that. You have the Clark and John side, where John's like, you want me to be the only one that can kill you. And
Mhm.
Superman's like, if it's necessary, then yes, because he saw what an out of control Superman could do to the world, how dangerous it was.
Yep.
A similar dynamic like you saw between him and Batman and something like Justice League Doom, where he's
Yeah.
like, if we do go over to the wrong side, I want there to be somebody I can trust to keep the world safe. And then on the other side of that, you have the Sam and Superman dynamic of that, where Superman's like, yes, we need this. Like this is something that can help protect the world. And Sam's like, yeah, but it hurt my family. And I saw what it did there. So,
Yeah.
like, no one is really wrong in this. Like, they just need to find a common ground.
And I will say, I think since it's been retconned not in the Arrowverse, it does make the conversations a lot more nuanced than the first time I went through this.
Yeah. Because you were looking for the connective tissue.
Like I think the context of the characters is a lot more different. Like I think like we can look at the storyline and we can point to so many evil Kryptonians and versions of the storyline that we've seen from other things where it's like, no, clearly you need Kryptonian around. But if we are going from the perspective of Lois, it seems like Morgan Edge is one of, if not the only evil Kryptonians that have come down. Like, this is
Yeah.
kind of the first time something like this has happened. And the likelihood of it happening again is unlikely. Where at the time, we were under the assumption of, like, okay, well, Supergirl's kind of had her off days like this. So we've had Overgirl and we've had Red Daughter
Rain.
and we've done Zod
Yep.
and we've done Bazaar. Like,
It did
we've done
Rain,
all
like
these
all that stuff. Yeah.
Rain. Right? So, like, in universe, it's like, you guys are fucking dummies. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? But in their context, this is a one and done, and this has never happened again. She trusts her husband enough that she's like, so to me, it is a much more nuanced conversation for her to be like, well, no, I don't want anything to kill my husband. Like, of course not. And I'm now kind of like, I do think Lois is wrong. I do think there needs to be a procedure in place, and she does finally come around on it. But I think it almost works better now that it's not connected because it's
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah, no, they like in this world there isn't all these out like again, like mostly what Clark has been facing has been like planes crashing in the Bahamas and like big world hurricanes and stuff like that. Like, you know, the small scale stuff. There hasn't been these like end of the world threats that they've had to deal with that we thought they had the first go around, which I think is
Right.
interesting.
Yeah, and this is again, this kind of series of episodes is has some of, I think, the best moments from Sam too, because you
Yeah.
get, like I said, the moment between him and Superman where they're like discussing that whole contingency plan, but also you get one of potentially my favorite moment from Sam in the season, at least one of them. I think it's in episode 14, whenever Lois is trying to, like, she's encouraging them to tell the public the truth about the Eradicator, like wanting them to get out there in front of the city, tell them what's going on with Edge, and but she also like wants them to keep their secrets safe. And Lane says, like, do you want us to tell the truth or keep everything hidden? And he goes, I can never seem to get it right with you. That line hit me
Yeah.
like a ton of
Yeah.
bricks, I'm telling
Yeah.
you, because
Yeah.
over the
He's in a
course of the
tough spot.
season you can see all the back and forth that he's talking about.
Yeah.
He's in a tough spot. He's in a really tough spot when
Yeah.
it comes to this thing, and you can see that all come to a head when they have the town hall, and they just ask the
Yeah.
questions, and
Yeah.
what's the guy's name? His mom came and just started airing everything out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I felt so Derek Powell. Yeah.
Derek Powell,
Yeah.
thank
Yeah.
you.
I
Yeah.
felt
Yeah.
so bad for Lane in that moment.
Yeah. And even Lois, where, the mom is like, you have no idea what it's like to lose a child. I'm like, actually,
That scene hurts. Yeah.
yeah, she kind
And
of does.
like I will say, like I do think that is one of the more interesting parts of Lois is like she isn't a completely innocent character. She has her flaws, and I do think a bit of that is like well, she is a bit hypocritical in some of those areas where like she wants the benefit of her father and his resources, but also she doesn't want to be tied to said restrictions. And like I do like that she is
Yeah.
kind of in a rock and a hard place this week about just like, well, I know this information, but I cannot say I know this information because then it will reveal what I know and I'm too close to the story. Like it's stuff like that that's so I like that like not every problem is just like, oh, the bad guy got a punch. It's like, hey, like she is a reporter and there are problems that like she also has to solve on her side of the case. It's the
Yeah.
shit I was begging Eric Wallace to give Iris for like 5 seasons and they refused to give it to her. It's
Yeah,
like
they just kept running out of things to do with her.
yeah, no, it's such a fascinating like probably one of the more fascinating things I've seen done with like Lois Lane of like, oh yeah, this is the consequence of like having a job and knowing who your superhero partner is and like
Yeah.
how that restricts her. And like there's a conversation in that like, well, does knowing Superman make you a less reporter? Like, does it make you a lesser reporter? Because then you know, like,
Because
but
you
yeah,
have to
like
hide the truth. Yeah.
there is definitely like an ethical dilemma that we could dive into at some point about the Lois Lane and Clark Kent of it all of just like that they dive into like with the movie quite a bit that I actually enjoyed there where it's like are you morally obligated to fully tell the truth when you know everything like how much should you put down on the paper like that is fascinating stuff to me and they definitely I think dive into that a lot more in like seasons 2 and stuff like that as well.
Even the
um
beginning of season 4 too.
Yes. Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Fascinating
yes, yes.
stuff. Really. Yeah.
Fascinating.
And I mean, I love all the stuff that they're doing with Lois at this point, like the dilemmas and stuff, because people like I see so many complaints where people are like saying that they're giving the like when you look at some of those other shows, people think that they're giving some of the side characters too much to do. I'm like, well, this is a very different case because one, not only is she Lois Lane, like arguably the most like the most iconic female love interest ever created, but she's also in the title of the show, so should be just as important to the
It's her
show
show
as
too.
Clark is,
Yeah.
right?
It is. Yeah.
So yeah, and if anything, it creates a great balance because you can you have like a 4 quadrant side to these episodes. Like you have the Superman related story, the Lois and Clark related story, and then the family side with the sons, and then just kind of the whatever's going on with the villain at the time. That's kind of the 4 quadrants that they work in, and especially in this season, I think it's really well balanced.
It is, yeah, like especially in season 1, I fully agree with like, oh, the side characters pull it down. Like I think it elevates it.
Yeah,
I would say like 8 times out of 10. I do think season 2 is the only season where sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm getting it a little bit, and we're soon to
yeah.
diving into some of those stuff, but like,
I mean, I think that would have been easier to, would have been easier to look at if, and again, we'll get into this later, but if the villain of that season had been stronger, we might have been able to look at some of that stuff a little bit better.
sure, yeah, no, for sure,
Um,
for sure, for sure. I also want to shout out another Lane moment I really liked this week. Is like, he busts like into the party, like, "Where's my damn grandson?"
yeah.
And
It's not
he's like really pissed. And he's having
uh,
a bad day. But like, I love the little Jordan and him moment where it's like, "Hey, can we take Sarah home first? Like, she's having a bad day." And he's really angry first. He's like, "Ah, yeah,
but
yeah,
then,
okay, yeah,
but then he cools down. I love how that one kid is like, hey, so what's going on
damn."
with Ed? Well, the one kid who's like, what's going on with Edge? He's like, you think I'm going to give government secrets to a bunch of drunk teenagers? I laughed so hard at
It's
that.
good. Yeah, no, it
Yeah,
goes right back into it. But yeah, no, like I love that. Like that's kind of been always Sam's like thing in this show is he's really struggled with that balance of humanity and responsibility. It's like his responsibility is his first nature, but then it kicks in that like, well, in that moment he was a grandfather and
Yeah.
he is a good guy, and he's like at first he's like, fuck no, we have to go do this and this and this, but it's like,
yeah,
these are kids, and
right,
she's also having a rough day. She's almost also get someone murdered on
right,
TV and blah
yeah.
blah blah.
Like
So
she
yeah,
needs to
let's
watch
bring
my
them home.
grandson.
Yeah.
So, and I love the moment too whenever they're in the car later and like, how'd you find us? He goes, I run the entire Department of Defense. You think I can't find my own grandsons?
Yeah,
I just love those moments
yeah.
whenever the kids like just the one little bit of dialogue they'll underplay the adult's capabilities and it's
Mhm.
delivered so well. It's great.
Yeah, no, this might be, I think, one of the better, or these might be one of the better Sam episodes we get in the show. I was really vibing with Sam, but let's just like in general, I think Sam is one of the biggest highlights of season 1.
Yeah.
Especially just on like,
Just so glad we got revamped from the Supergirl version.
and just like in retrospective of like every other Sam that I have personally seen, because I've never really cared about him as a character. Like he's normally just like, oh, the antagonist of Superman who just happens to be his father-in-law
Father-in-law.
type character, blah blah blah. It's always just kind of annoying and boring. It's like, oh no, they made him a full-fleshed character, and like I remember in season 4, people being very not pissed, but there being like a conversation like he's not a very accurate to the comic version, and like as someone who doesn't read the comics for that specific character, I'm like, okay, sure, but if they're a damn good character at the end of the day,
Right.
who gives a shit? Like I haven't read it, but I have a feeling even if I had read those storylines, I would still prefer this take on the character because he is so damn good. He's such a good
Potentially.
take on the character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's sometimes where these shows they either, like they'll either make characters or they'll completely reinvent
Yeah.
them for the better. And
Yeah, that is my take, I think, in general, where like if you have to go away from the source material but you make the material better, I don't give a shit. You
yeah,
could make Batman pink and have an afro, but if he's a better take on the character, then I might be okay with it. You know what I mean? If it's better, if it works better for the character, that probably wouldn't, but if it did, I might be like, all right, let's do it. I don't know.
Darren, you should go pick up some Silver Age comics then if you're talking that language.
Oh, all right, all right.
No, because I'm not joking. On the Silver Age, he donned a rainbow-colored outfit to fight a bad guy.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Uh,
Shout out to the ending too. I like the ending of this episode a lot.
oh yeah,
I've always talked about how I hate to say it, but like I do love like distressed Clark and Lois. Like that always brings me to
Yeah.
instant tears. The I can't find him. Go look. It's like
he's
I
like,
looked,
I looked
he's
everywhere.
gone. And just the like no, like I was like I hate saying that because I hate her dress because I love the character, but Betsy plays it so good every single time that it makes me emotional instantly. And I'm like, oh God,
Yeah.
all right, I guess
Right.
we're doing it.
And then you have the Edge scene too, whenever he drops down. Sarah has no idea about any of this. She's completely like in the dark about this whole scene. I mean, everybody's in the dark. It's at night, but like she's just completely lost about what's going on.
Yeah.
And like Sam is giving orders to John. He's like, "Listen, get this gun. You've got one shot." That's all John can do at the moment.
Yeah.
And then you get where Edge takes Jordan, and he drops the L bomb on Sarah. And people think should he have done that at that point? But whenever people are in those dire situations, sometimes they'll say things.
He could have easily died there. Like he probably thought, like, well, this is it for me. And like from Sarah's POV, this must be crazy because she doesn't know they're involved with superheroes whatsoever. She didn't know Morgan Edge had powers. Really, it's like, is he fucking flying? Like like they knew something, like something was going on, but I don't think they knew the full like.
Yeah, because the car ran right into him and he didn't flinch.
Yeah, it's like, was that fucking Morgan? What the fuck is going on? And it's like, why would he steal Jordan? Like when this is happening, I would be wondering, like, okay, what's going on? Like I feel like I'm
really surprised she didn't find anything out. Like if this was the Flash, this moment is the moment where Iris found out Barry was the Flash. This is that season 1 moment.
And that could have been like, I would have been kind of okay if that's the direction they want. If they wanted to go like I know you don't like the show, Jake, and that's okay, but like almost this Lex Luthor moment for Sarah where it's like, wait, how did he survive? Why did he like season 2 is her being like, so if you were able to do this and this led to this, like it's her like slowly.
What show do I not like?
Smallville.
Oh,
Smallville, where like Lex spends like 4 seasons being like, I must. Why? How did Clark fall off the bridge and save my? It's
making
like something
full-blown dioramas.
I mean, it has its moments, but this high school history with Clark and Lex really killed it for me.
Yeah, whatever.
yeah, whatever.
You have anything else?
Carl Weezer.
That show should have ended after he left. Anyway,
got better once he left. And I don't mean it because I like his character, but I just think the show progressively. Another conversation for another day.
Got better once another character with double L initials left.
That is true. That is true.
Speaking of a character with double L initials, I love the moment in this episode whenever Lana completely busts the mayor, like talking shit about their family.
Oh
yeah.
I love that moment because like at first, like we hear it and I'm thinking, wait,
I hate that guy.
Like, does Lana not hear this? Like, is she about to bust this guy? What's going on? But that's one of the best moments. And she says, this place used to have each other's back. We used to be a family. That's why I built my life here. That's why I want my kids to have futures. And man, this show I think is the best adaptation of Lana we've gotten in outside media, easily.
And I think I mentioned this a couple of times this season, but like. The mayor storyline hits so much harder after rewatching, going back through the show and seeing everything that she had to do to climb and re-earn the respect of everybody. Just like they were ready to leave. They were fully ready to leave it behind. And like all of Clark's things of like, now that my mom is gone, you are the heart of Smallville. Like you are the thing holding it together, Lana.
It's like that trust is gone.
And like, yeah, like there's the whole like she lost hope in the people. Like this is no longer the town that I fell in love with. This isn't the town I grew up in. And so her being able to like just take a breather, stay, and then slowly like rebuild what Smallville is after Edge and earn their respect back, kick him off of being mayor, and like using almost this as like a poaching of like, not poaching, but like he's a liar, he's a cheat, like he will do anything to stay in power. And like we're seeing that and how much of a unlikable character he is, but also he's a very real depiction of like government in America. I feel like where like they do that same thing where it's like, I have your love, I have your respect, I will do everything for you, and then behind their back like it's their fault, this is the reason. And it's like getting both sides of everyone. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
And then
And
sitting there trying to look shocked that she's going off on you is crazy.
right. It's like,
He's
being
like,
surprised that someone's calling you out. But that whole, bit of, like where they're debating leaving, this kind of leads to one of my other favorite moments, which again, you don't get a lot of because of, the nature of the show. But, that Clark and Lana scene where they just come together as friends, another
It's
scene that I
so good.
really, really
Yeah.
liked. And, because yes, they have history, but they don't have to like hit you over the head with it. Like they very clearly, said the history over the course of their episodes. You can tell that there's a connection there. That's his oldest friend, that was the first girl he dated. But
Yeah.
over the course of these episodes, you've seen how, yeah, Lana was reminiscing about who Clark was, but she's also seeing him for more who he is now.
Mhm.
And you get like, yeah, like there's a lot of history between those two characters, and it was just like a nice, friendly moment that
Yeah.
you you can't really look at that scene and be like, oh, were they trying to do something there? No, they're not at all. And I
No, and
really wish people would have not tried to say that they were.
like I really, it's maybe a bit maybe this is forcing it a little bit, but like I do like a subtle foreshadow. I don't think they knew they were doing this yet, but like there's the foreshadowing. There's that nice Kyle line where it's like, yeah, the like, Kents have been good to us. Like they're good people, but they won't put food on the table. And eventually they kind of do. Like, Clark and Lois help to finance them in the final season. It's like, oh
Yeah.
man, what a
But,
nice full moment that I don't think they knew or was even
right.
like I don't think that was intended. But there's so
Oh,
many, like this show did so many, I think, accidental full circle moments by that
yeah,
seasons 2 and 3, where it's like, oh man, it is really this kind of perfect little full circle show that kind of complements each other in such a beautiful way. And which is so impressive because it wasn't supposed to be the final season. They had what,
yeah.
2 or 3, maybe 4 more seasons planned for the show.
Yeah.
So the fact that they were able to do all these things and make it, I'd argue, almost a perfect show from start to finish is such a compliment to it. I
Yeah.
think that's awesome.
And I think, like, would we have wanted to see more of it? Absolutely. But I think the fact that, we got 4 seasons and that it didn't fall into the curse that a lot of these other shows did where they
I'm
overstayed their
grateful.
welcome and got stale. I think that was a blessing in disguise because, like when they were doing the end, they knew they were doing the end.
Yeah.
Because, and like when you're making your last season, you want to know it's the last season so you can effectively, in most cases, build up to the end. And not every show did that, but
Yeah.
but no, I love all those foreshadows that you mentioned, and we'll definitely get to those
We'll
in
talk about
subsequent
it.
episodes.
Yeah.
Oh
we'll
yeah.
talk about it.
We'll talk
yeah.
about it.
But I think we've captured the essence of these 2 episodes. You guys definitely, you ended up leading the conversation because
Sorry.
I mean that's fine though. That's fine though. So
Or like I saw you staring off over there. I was like, "Is he good? Are we talking too much? What is it?"
no, I was listening. I was taking everything in. Like
I think this is one of our better episodes, actually. Not because you didn't talk, but I think there's a really nice dynamic of just like us going off on a win. Like I felt very
Yeah.
balanced in that way.
I hate being the one to lead the conversation because I feel
Yeah.
like since I am a certified critic, shameless plug. I feel like I critique too much, so I like taking a back seat and letting, especially when there's others on the panel, I like letting others take it, if you get what I mean. So that's fun for me. But we are coming up on the season finale, and for that we shall be doing a live stream. It will not be next week, but we will
Week
pick
off.
it up the week off, and we'll pick it up the following week. That way I can make sure that nothing prohibits me from actually being here.
Yeah.
So that week it will be, Jesus,
We're gonna have 3 live streams.
3 live streams in a row. That's crazy.
Yeah, because we have the Ranger Nation watch party for the Turbo movie. So
Oh God.
So Ranger Nation watch party that Monday, Party Nation that Tuesday, and then our first Superman and Lois retrospective live stream.
Yeah.
Is that just going to be that? Is that just going to be that Wednesday?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
3 live streams in a row. We're gonna do it at the same time, but we don't have to be long. and we're going
Yeah.
to
That's
we
gonna
are
be two
going
live streams in one day because council's that same day.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. And so we're going to I'm sure Darren's gonna have a tier ranking. We're gonna rank are we gonna rank
Oh,
the
yeah.
characters? Or do you want to do that?
Yeah, sure. I can put together a couple tier lists.
I put together enough tier lists already.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it, but yeah, sure. I could put together some things.
Because that would be
Sure.
a short live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's like an idea way down the line, but
Oh no.
just something we can look at. Whenever we've gone through everything, and I mean everything,
Oh,
we do
boy.
want a massive tier list where we do like the individual seasons of those shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
But that's way down the line. Probably when me and Lance both probably have a lot more gray in our hair, and
Yeah.
Darren
Still has no gray because I'm young. Curly.
probably.
But guys, you got the schedule. You know what's up. So yeah, that week live streams will always land on Wednesdays, even though we upload our regular videos on Saturdays. So yeah, I should just put out a list of the schedule for our
We're
followers.
gonna have a Lance. You're gonna be streaming Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday that week, Lance.
Yeah. Plus, that's not even counting ones that you might join.
Yeah.
All right.
First week of December is gonna be crazy. Catch you guys later.